Welcome to episode 23 of the 200 Movie Challenge. And for those who are clicking on this for the first time, really quick recap. Me and Soto here are trying to watch 200 films combined this year alone,
hmm
2025, that we have not seen before.
hmm
And it's been, we're on pace. We're doing a great pace, so like I feel like Christmas time, we're going to hit the 200. Terrifier 3, we're looking at you right at the end. But Soto, another week,
Oh,
another four films to talk about. Last week we had
yep.
four horror films, and that wasn't even planned. That just fucking happened. Because I, like I put movies in my, to watch later list. Like, oh, I need to see this, and we just ended up, both of
hmm
us ended up watching two horror movies. And I can tell you right now, Soto, I'm going to add two more to that list today. I don't, not
Wow,
planned.
more horror movies.
More horror movie. Well, horror genre, but we're going to get to that. Soto, I want to start
Yeah.
with you. I started off last week, and we're going to start off
Mhm.
with you. What was your movie that you saw this week?
So the movie that I saw this week was Mad Max Furiosa. I had seen that it was leaving Netflix. Typically, if I see something is going to be leaving and I kind of want to see it, I will go ahead and prioritize it. I had been put off in the past by it because it's like 2 hours and 28 minutes or whatever the fuck it
Yeah.
was. Um, and so I didn't watch it, but I saw that it was leaving soon, and I was like, oh, I've been trying to get this movie on my thing, so let me go ahead and give it a shot. And I had really liked the Mad Max Fury Road movie that was done with Tom Hardy. I really liked that movie a lot, and I really like Charlize Theron and the whole entire vibe. George Miller did a great job. It was very visceral. The action scenes were awesome, and it was a really really great. Especially a really good theater movie. I really liked it. So I figured, okay, yeah, I'd heard some mixed things about Furiosa. Obviously Charlize Theron wasn't a part of it. So it was our girl Anya Taylor Joy who was all over our movies. And so she was playing the role of Furiosa. It's a prequel to Fury Road. And so I'll start off from the beginning. This movie was a fucking drag to get through.
Oh,
Um, it was painful to watch. Now, there are like it's directed by George Miller as well, so the same director is there as the original franchise, but there was a lot more kind of CG type things going on, and the story just didn't really hit me that well. I don't. I think Anya Taylor Joy actually did a great job. She actually kind of sounded like Charlize Theron too, if you can believe that. Um, but I think it's Chris Hemsworth is in this too. And so he had to sort of. I always kind of see him as comedic, especially after Thor and everything. He kind of had some comedic lines. He never really struck me as anybody that was particularly terrifying, but. Overall, the movie just missed the mark for me. It takes place, obviously, like I said, it's a prequel, so it takes place in the past of this character, and it kind of shows you how Furiosa came up. Have you seen the original, the Mad Max Fury Road? Is that a movie that you've
so
seen, or
Soto, I was gonna wait until good pause, but I'm glad you brought up. I have not seen any.
yeah,
Well, not the Mel Gibson, any of the
any?
newer Mad Max movies. Not
Oh,
one. So
yeah.
I
Well, there's
know
only there's
I know
only
a few, but I mean, isn't there like two, three?
uh, yeah. There's Mad Max Fury Road and there's Furiosa, as far as what I know.
Oh, I thought there.
I
I
don't know
thought
if
there was
there's
another. I
another
I
one.
don't know for sure. I mean, I have not seen. Either way, no, I've not seen Fury Road. For some reason, I thought there was another one, but you know what? It just could have been called Mad Max Fury Road, and because I never really looked into it. But no, I have not seen Mad Max Fury
Yeah.
Road. It has not been on my radar
Fury
either.
Road is freaking great. I like it. I enjoy it. Previously before that, I mean, I actually the Mad Max I've seen the most because it was on TV all the time was fucking Mad Max Beyond the Thunderdome with Tina Turner, Mel Gibson, Tina Turner, and I watched that movie all the time when I was a kid. Um, and Fury Road. The thing I love about it is that the action feels real and everything that you're seeing is real. I'm sure there are visual effects in Fury Road. I'm not saying that, but it just felt much more visceral, especially the violence and just the way that everything was done in that one. It just felt more like just I don't know. It just felt it just I was there. And with this one, with the CG stuff, took me out of it. I'm not saying that all CG is bad, but sometimes it can kind of cut it out for me as far as the immersion a little bit. And when you mix that with a story that's kind of blah, I just it was hard for me to get through this movie, man. I watched it just before we did our Saturday thing, and I was just like, you're watching the movie, and you're just like, is this almost over? Because
Hate
how was
that.
this 2.5 hours? It did not need to be this way. And so yeah, it was probably one of the least enjoyable movies that I've seen this year,
Ooh.
for sure. So when it comes to ranking it, this may change.
As
Um,
does with our list when we kind of look at it like weeks later. And just like you said, sometimes we
yeah,
get second
because
guess.
yeah,
It's usually in the right area,
well,
but sometimes I don't know.
well, you look at your list and you look at it like you were saying last week, like in sections, right?
Yes.
And you kind of like, well, this section is like where that kind of fits, and because as these lists get bigger and bigger, it's like, okay, what grouping is this under? It's not necessarily better than a movie or worse. You're just kind of like it's just in this general group. And as I look at the grouping that it's in, I can already see that I've got to kind of adjust that as well. But for right now, without too much thought into it, I'm gonna put this right below Oppenheimer as my 41st movie of the year. Um, it might go lower as time goes on. I do have to kind of rearrange this. I mean, I did find it more enjoyable than Conclave and The Brutalist, if that says anything. But I may have to kind of move this stuff. But yeah, it felt like bottom 10 for me when I was watching it. I was pretty disappointed with it. Um, Again, there were parts that are definitely salvageable and good, and they're well shot and well acted. But overall, I said this a gajillion times on every single one of these episodes. How you feel when the credits roll is 99% of how you feel about the movie. And when the credits rolled on this movie, I just said, Jesus, that sucked.
Yeah, and it's tough, especially when you have a longer movie, and I hate it when you're just watching a movie waiting for it to end. Like that's not a joke. I mean, and that's not to go on a rant here, Soto, but might as well. We got a little time to kill, but
Right
I know
ahead.
me and you are similar to this. Like we're watching the movie, and I know we're more doing this for our fun project. But if a movie's that not that entertaining and you really don't care, why can't we just turn it off and be done with it? You're like, fuck this movie.
Oh my God.
But you know what I mean? Because you can't. Because we have to finish it. It's
You
even like a,
can't.
it's even
Yes.
like a certain part of a video game. Somewhere, but when you hit it, like I've turned off movies maybe in the first 15 minutes, and I could care less. But yeah, I sitting there, and I know I said the same thing, and you're just waiting for this to end. And even when the credits roll, when that's like the most exciting part, when you feel like the movie's over, that should tell you something. That should tell you
It's
like
like a
those.
relief.
It is,
And
and
I'll tell
it
you, I
movies should
think
not
you're
be
you're
that
100%
way.
right. You're 100% right. Of all the movies that I've seen this year, and this doesn't change my ranking, but of all the movies that I've seen this year, this was a movie that I was just like, do I just stop watching this? Is that okay for me to do? Can I just say that I watched this
You
and
probably
just
could. I
like
wouldn't have known.
pretend? No, but I mean, you start it and then you have to finish it because I saw Slaw from the beginning to the
Yeah,
end.
yeah,
I saw Pro Wrestlers and Zombies from the beginning to the end,
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I've seen worse shit. So, but for the last hour of this film, I was like, oh my God, like let's fucking wrap it up. I was not feeling this movie at all, and I can understand now why it wasn't as big as a hit as Fury Road was. It was just bloated bullshit that was totally unnecessary. I didn't think the story needed to be told at all.
Damn. Yeah, no, I just had to look it up. There is only one. I don't know why. I thought there was like a second Mad Max. I maybe I just thought they did like a remake of Mad Max, And then Mad Max Fury Road was like the sequel, but you're right, that was obviously the first one. But I think that
Mhm.
came out at a time, obviously, well, a lot of these movies did, where I wasn't watching or fully paying attention to it. Um, but you're
Yeah,
right.
no, I mean, if you had a chance to watch Fury Road, check it out. It's definitely worth it. I wouldn't watch anything out more than that.
But it's funny that you mentioned the time, Soto, because I'm going to do a little spoiler alert. I did watch 3 films this week. All 3 of my
Mhm.
movies are less than 90 minutes. So
Oh, you're smart.
it was all just sweet spots. I just wanted quick and easy, and I'm going to get to a couple of them. But the first one, because we joked about this, I'm on another comedy horror movie. This movie came out in 2010, and it is called Tucker and Dale versus Evil. Now, before I
Oh
even
yeah.
get into this review, because of the date it came out, and we were working at Blockbuster Video at this time. I'm
Hmm.
surprised I never fucking saw this film. Now I know this time in my life it came out in 2010, so maybe to rent at the end or 2011. I was kind of I think moving on my own and stuff like that, so maybe there's a time where I wasn't watching as much movies. I'm just surprised I never went back to watch this. I'm surprised I never really thought about this. So I don't know how this one snuck past me. I don't know if you ever saw it, Soto. I don't know if you cared.
No,
Uh,
I've seen it. I've browsed through it in so many different streaming, and I saw it at Blockbuster, but I never pulled the trigger.
Now, it does say it's a horror comedy. I consider this more of a comedy. Uh, kind so, and I'll explain why. First of all,
Yeah.
Alan Tudyk is in it, and I love Alan Tudyk. A lot of people I know him from Firefly. He played Wash. He does a lot of comedic voices. He is great. The story of this is basically Tucker and Dale are two well-meaning hillbillies, as they say, and they're just nice and they keep to
Hmm.
themselves. And they buy this new house off on the lake, their vacation home. Tucker does, and it's like a fix-me-up. But also on the same lake, a bunch of college kids are just going out there for a party, have some drinks. Nothing wrong with that.
Hmm.
It
As they
starts
do. Yeah.
as they do, because this is how everything sets up. A horror movie. You got hillbillies and you got college kids drinking. So anyhow,
Hmm.
so before they even get there, the the other guy, Dale, Tyler Labine, I recognize his face from a few things, I just don't know. He wants to talk to one of the girls, and he's like, they're like, just do it, be confident. He's hyping up his bro, and he goes, and obviously just like a bumbling idiot, he fumbles. He's holding a scythe too. I don't know why, but basically scares the shit out of the girl he's trying to impress and like creeping her out. And the college kids go laughing at him. And so the beginning of the story, the main, for lack of better terms, douchebag male who's antagonist. His name is Chad. So I'm like, oh fuck me, really?
As always. As always.
He tells a story of the Memorial Day massacre back in 1990, where two hillbillies were on the lake and they basically murdered this whole group, let one live, et cetera, create the ghost story. And he's trying to tie it in with these two hillbillies that just met. So to this whole movie is basically mistaken situations. So they're out on the lake fishing, and the main girl,
Ah,
Allison,
okay.
and
Yep.
she's, they're some are skinny dipping. She's taking a dip. She's on top of a rock, and they're kind of spying on her. All right, so a little creepy, but they're kind of watching her, and she notices them, falls into the lake. So they're kind of rowing to try and save her, and they're pulling her up. They're like, "Oh my god, oh my god!" So all the friends are seeing this, and then they're like, "We got your friend!" And they're kind of screaming it, and all the other college kids are screaming like, "Oh my god, they killed her!" And they're running and they're kidnapping her. So and then they're like, "Where are you going, college kids? We come here. We got your," So obviously they're scared. So they take them back to their place. Heal her up a little bit. But obviously the college kids they want to come for their friends. And every situation turns into one of them accidentally getting murdered. Like one runs to
Ah.
like Alan Tudyk,
Yep.
and you with like a pole
Hmm.
ready to stab him, and he turns last second and he goes into the wood chipper. Blood everywhere. There's a lot of fucking blood. I just wouldn't call this a horror movie. And he's accidentally cuts a tree like it's a chainsaw. There's a bee's nest and it's getting in his face. So he's running through the woods with the chainsaw right where the kids are. And so they're scared and they start running with him. And he tells stories like, yeah, those kids must be scared to be. So the whole thing obviously is hilarious because everything is a mistaken. like I said, situation. But the kids are fucking dying. And they still are taking care of this girl, Allison, who Dale has a crush on. They're like, oh, you bumped your head. Don't worry. So, if you like dark humor, you need to check this out.
Mhm.
It does get the joke gets old after a little while. I will admit that.
Right.
Uh,
Yep.
but it is very creative, at least in some of the deaths. And again, dumb. So we've said this before. If you just want a mindless popcorn flick and you're good with a little blood and
Mhm.
guts, because there is a bit of it. This is not a horror film. I would consider this a dark comedy. Um, but yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the shit out of it because I fucking love dark comedy. I know I've said this a couple times. I know it's not for everyone, but I'm fucking laughing my ass off at this. Now, like I said, halfway through, it's like, okay, which kids are going to die next, blah, blah, blah. And then obviously
Yeah.
Allison, who's trying to train to be a psychiatrist, knows like, oh my God, everyone is, they think the hillbillies are killers. You think the college kids are in some satanic cult because obviously to them, because they're killing themselves, they're like, oh my God, they're out here just to murder themselves. That's what they think. Like it's a suicide pact. And they're like, don't do it,
Mhm.
But yeah, so I would say pull the trigger on this if you need a dark comedy soda. If that a dark is what you need and your, as we say, comes at you at the right time, see this.
Mhm.
Um, like I've always said, it's mindless. You don't have to turn your brain on. Just sit back and fucking enjoy it. That hard part is like, where do I rank this though? Because I'm looking and I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
I did like this. I definitely laughed at it. But again, like I said, it's one of those movies where the joke gets a little old after a while. But again,
Well, that's what I was gonna say. It's like it's a funny premise,
it is.
but how many funny it's like how do you stretch that out over a film, over a movie, right? Like how do you keep it fresh, and how do you stick the landing? I think it's like everybody's thing, because everybody can come up with a joke, but jokes are not made to last 90 minutes.
No,
They're supposed to carry it through. So
but I will say it did stick the landing. Like it did end, and I was like, oh, that was a dumb ending. You know what I mean? Like we've had those. I think
Mhm.
we've talked about. I know you, totally killer for you, time cut for me. Obviously, that deals with time. Both of them deal with time travel, and we're like, okay, the
Yeah.
premise is there. But those movies, this one, whether you liked it or not, it stuck the landing. So again, beginning, middle, end. It is all there.
Mhm.
I just think, like I said, it kind of
Beginning,
got the
movie.
beginning, middle, and end. And you can't ask for much. There's been movies where we watch the end, and we're like, what the fuck? And I
That's
will
all we
say,
ask for is a
yeah,
3 act structure. That's all we ask for. It's like have a beginning, middle, end. We've said it so many times in the last year and a half, or half a year. Just have a beginning, middle, end. That's all I ask. If you said it famously, if you set up rules, just follow them. That's
well,
all.
stick
Just
to them.
follow them throughout
Stick to
there, and
them.
just have it. That's it. Stick to the rules you set up. That's it.
It doesn't matter how dumb the rules are. Just stick to the rules. Um, so I think I am going to put this next to a movie that has another silly concept, more of a lighthearted comedy, and I'm going to probably put it right above it. So Tucker and Dale is going to go at number 27 for me at this moment, right above Tag. Because again, that was a silly
I
premise.
see.
But
Hmm.
even Tag, it nailed the ending. Like you're like, okay, this ended. I am fine with this ending. It wasn't like, oh, that was dumb. It was like, this is a movie that definitely ended for me. So,
Once the credits rolled, you were like, thumbs up. That the credit feeling, right?
mm,
That's it. When you see the credits, you're like, satisfied.
yeah,
Credits roll, and you're like, nah. Like most of the time, credits roll, and I'll be like, yeah, I like that.
no,
But
and
it's
I
nice to when the credits roll, you're like, that was awesome.
definitely. Holy shit, my whole list just got screwed up on ChatGPT. I'm gonna have to rework this out later. Sorry, I kind of try and do this on my phone, screenshot it, and then I just noticed as I did it, like somehow things just movies are missing. So I'll have to fix all that later, but that's
Oh,
okay.
well, I see your list right here.
I
So
do it on
I
my
don't know, because I
phone.
have.
So I screenshot it. So
Oh,
like for
okay.
the videos that no one watches. So like when we talk about the
Mhm.
numbers, it's like right there in the middle. So yeah, no, the one on the
Oh,
G
I see.
that,
Yes.
but I tend to as we go along try to do it. But I every
Mhm.
now and then I have to backtrack. But now it doesn't matter. Um, but yes, Tucker and Dale versus Evil. Like I said, I friggin' loved. I thought it was hilarious. Got old, but you know what? it was good enough. It was enjoyable. I've seen a lot worse, so that's kind of where I'm at right now. So, like I said, so I think you
I
would
mean, I
like
love the
this.
premise.
Yeah,
Sounds funny to me,
it
you know.
was.
So
But Soto, I know you only saw one movie, so I'm going to go into my second movie, and this is a movie
absolutely.
I teased a couple weeks ago, and I did
Oh
because
yeah, yep.
we love. I love it at the beginning of the month or end of a month when I get that notification of like, hey, what's new, what's coming out. They say this is what's
Hmm.
coming out on Tubi, Netflix, blah blah blah. So I saw this movie and I think it got officially released July 11th, 12th. I'm not 100% sure. I could be wrong, but it's like the newest
Wow.
movie I've seen. And it's a movie
Mhm.
titled Get Off My Lawn. Now you knowing
Oh my
us,
god.
Soto, you know why I kind of had to watch this.
Of
Again,
course.
another horror type movie. Um,
Mhm.
Soto, this is a Tubi original, so this might be the first Tubi original movie I've ever seen.
Oh
Definitely the
no.
first one I've
Tubi
done
had make
on this list or this year because I know we
Tubi makes its
talk.
own movies.
Yes, if you go through Tubi now, they have a few. It says Tubi original, and I didn't realize there's a
How do they
couple
make
others.
money?
I don't. The ads,
Commercials? Is that what
it's got to be.
yeah, it's
It's got to be.
oh
Um,
my god, yeah.
yeah. So
I
anyhow,
love Tubi.
Tubi's great. We've seen a lot of crap
It's
on
fantastic.
Tubi, but other people made this crap. Now Tubi's making their own crap, and they're promoting their own crap. So all right, so we got a little
Great.
bit to get through for this one. Yeah, so get off my lawn. First, let me set
Yeah.
the scene of how it starts. This is before
Sure.
the opening credits. It's from like the
Yep.
audience point of view, so you don't see who this realtor is talking to, and she's over the top, campy, older, goofy, just very fucking annoying. And she's like, "Oh yeah, this house, you guys will love it. The grandfather recently passed away. They're trying to sell it." So she's giving you kind of the backstory a little bit, and then as you go into this house, you're going up the stairs, and she's like, "What are you doing?" And you see these pair of hands strangle her, and then it goes to opening credits. You're like, "Okay, what the fuck?" You're like, "All right, I'm
Okay.
glad she's dead because she was fucking annoying to me." But what's going on? So that was kind of the quick setup. Then the opening credits, and what happens is you find out this very young couple have bought this house, and they basically kind of lowballed the offer. They put all their money that they had into it. They wrote a note. They said, "Listen, we want a home. We want this nice area. We want to grow our own family." And you find out like they were chosen, and they're like, "We don't know why." They bought it as is. So yeah, they move. So
Mhm.
they're getting ready to move in. First day, they have the trucks there. Obviously, all the grandfather stuff is kind of set up. Now, this teenager with his girlfriend and his buddy come up, and it's his grandfather's house. He grew up in this house, and the guy that moved in kind of summed it best. This guy is like if a Gen Zer was Leave It to Beaver. Now,
Mhm. Oh
basically
wow.
he's way too overnice. He's like, oh yeah, this is just a great house, and he's over explaining, but he does it in such a way, Soto, that it's just it's creepy. It's just like no one's that nice. No one's way too nice. He's trying to help them out. He feels sad because he grew up in there, and he lets them know like, well, yeah, your letter's what is the reason why I chose for you to buy this house. I told my mom that you guys needed to have this house, and so they actually feel bad for the kid a little bit, and allow him to kind of hang around a little bit more. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, so the grandfather has like some pictures and like the rules of the house, and stuff like that. And as they're kind of remodeling, he's upset because these rules have been taken down. The Rock with his handprints have been, and he starts pranking them like these. What starts off as mindless pranks, but they get dangerous each time. Um, Soto, I know you just mentioned in your review that you wanted this movie to end. This movie was so shit. This isn't a horror movie. It's the I mean, it get like I said, these pranks
Sounds
get
like
worse
it.
and worse. You would think like the premise was there, but the how the because like they're doing these campy pranks at first, and like his girlfriend's kind of filming them, and they're putting it on like all these millennials don't know what they're doing, blah blah blah, making fun of them, and you're trying to figure out where to go, and it really doesn't go anywhere.
Really?
you think he has an abusive father. Turns out the father's like, you know why we had to sell that house quickly. Blah blah blah. You know, the kid's like, yeah, grandfather's, you know, kind of trying to scare them. He's like, yeah, my grandfather's buried there in your garden, and they're freaking out, but it's a skeleton. So I'm like, well, why did they have to sell this off quickly? So obviously, so many fucking questions. There's no outside of the opening kill and basically the final kill. There's nothing scary, nothing going on. It's so fucking annoying because now this couple's like, they're trying to call the cops, but they have no proof that this kid is terrorizing them or doing anything, you know, bad. And also because the sale hasn't gone through, they don't want to go to his
Mhm.
parents because they're like, what if they pulled the sale at the last minute? Because nothing officially has been signed
Right.
for it. But so, yeah, this is a Tubi original. It is a very bad Tubi movie. I was hoping for, but again, I was hoping for maybe, you know, like Old Man Get Off My Yard, or just kind of a little bit more horror. I mean, they
Yeah. What
make
did
it seem
the
like
lawn have to do with it?
nothing until it's the final line in the movie. I'm telling you that right now. It's just the
You're
guys.
kidding me.
I'm dead fucking serious. I think they did it just because it's a funny title. Um,
Sure.
but yeah,
Wow.
so I mean, there's that. And this he keeps getting, like I said, creepier and creepier, but it never
Yeah.
until the end gets past that mark. And let me tell you, Soto. So so obviously he's gone beyond the point. Even his friends are like, "You're fucking insane." And so he breaks in,
Hmm.
he gets into their house. And I know you're not going to see this. And spoiler to anyone that's actually fucking listening, just turn it off. But so now it's like the final,
Yeah.
kind of
Right.
like, for lack of better terms, the final battle. He's trying to kill them.
Yeah.
And the couple's tied up, but they kind of
Final
free.
battle.
And the wife has like a screwdriver and she stabs the young kid in the eyeball. And they go out to the
Oh God.
yard. They go out to the lawn. The cops are about to come. He's not dead, Soto, just like in any horror film. And he's pulling out the screwdriver in his eye.
Oh,
And
gross.
you would think that would be gross. I mean, first I cringe because obviously but in what can
Yeah.
only be said as the worst CGI I've seen, the screwdriver still had the eyeball with like all the tentacles. And I don't even know. Like you would have thought if
The
they were going to.
tentacles.
I don't even, for lack of a better word. That's what it looked
All
like.
the
It looked like an
I think
octopus to
those are
me.
nerves, Chad. I think those are called nerves.
No,
I'm not a
no,
doctor
no.
for
I will
sure, but
find this picture and I will send it to you. And I'm like, see, it looks like fucking
uh
tentacles. But
sweet
yes,
God.
and he just takes it out and then just throws it on the ground and then just starts going to the lawn to do, you know, just scare them. And that's when like the guy stabs him with like the post of the for sale sign. It's like, get off my lawn. And that's it. So this is so bad. This is so bad. I can
Oh
tell
my
you
God.
this. I'm
Oh
not saying
Jesus.
this is not the worst movie, and I'm looking at this right now. I'm
Sounds
trying.
bad.
Oh, it is. It is. Soto, I can guarantee you, this is going under Pro Wrestlers versus Zombies. I'm
Uh-huh.
debating whether it's above or beyond Under the Bed. That is where I'm at right now. And the funny thing is, if you remember my Under the Bed review, I said
Yes.
as much as the story, the acting, and everything sucked, the kills
Mhm.
were practical and they were well done. It was the only good thing
Yes.
about it. But
Yes.
everything else
Yep.
about it was just like, oh, and there wasn't much kills. So in Under the Bed, it was like one scene, which fucking amazed me. I'm like, oh, damn, you know, she's getting real. And then shit stopped getting real. So from
Mhm.
I think after 15 minutes of this movie, I wanted to turn it off. I'm like, no, I made a promise to see what
Oh.
this fucking get off. And yes, even because it's under 90 minutes, you had a 2.5 hour film. I had a 90 minutes, and same
Yeah.
thing. It's like if a 90-minute film you're watching and you're waiting for this to end, that should tell you something. So I
Yeah.
think I talked myself into it. This is going under the bed and above slaw. That's where it's at right now. I am going to do this at this moment. I don't have
I'm
my
not
phone.
watching. I'm not
No,
watching this movie.
no,
I
no,
already
no,
did
no,
the
no, no,
slaw
no,
thing.
no, no. I don't want you to. But now, like any other Tubi original, I don't think I can do.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is going to be will be my number 57. Holy shit! Um,
Woo!
that so
Wow.
this is so bad. And again, I didn't expect much. I never do sometimes with
Mhm.
these. And again, knowing it's a Tubi original, I was like, okay, you know, like
Yeah.
how you know it's not going to be great, but
Mhm.
if they made it more horrifying, like they could have made this teenager just a little bit more threatening.
Yeah.
It's just like I said. I know what they were trying to do, and they failed miserably. And the acting was horrible. That was the other thing. Like all these actors were just I don't know. So Tubi, save your money, please save your money,
Hmm.
and make. I
Hmm.
believe in you. I know you can make a halfway decent film. That's it.
Or do they want to? You know,
I don't know. I don't know if I want them
they're
to.
known for they're known for their shit. Because like these bad movies. Oh, and I just lost you.
Uh
Can
oh,
you
what
still hear
happened?
me?
I can hear you.
Technical difficulties ever?
It's okay.
Okay.
I can still hear you.
These these Tubi movies, there's fans for them that are waiting for them to be this bad.
Mm,
So maybe that's the audience they're going for.
maybe,
I don't
but
know.
I understand cheesy B movies. We again grew up in a time, way back at VHS, way back in like HBO, Showtime, stuff like that, where there was bad B
Mm.
movies that were meant to be bad and enjoyable. I know we
Of
can
course.
probably have a podcast of just like horror movies that never were in theaters, but we enjoyed. In this day and age, Soto, yes, don't get me wrong. I, I don't mind a good cheesy bad movie. If that makes sense. That sounds weird
Mhm.
saying that out loud. But no, there is not one redeeming quality in Get Off My Lawn. Outside, I think they're like, we're gonna get people with this title. They're gonna watch this movie, and we're gonna like suckered you in, ha ha ha. And I'm like, oh my Soto, this
I
is
mean,
just.
you did.
I mean, technically this had a beginning, middle, and end,
They were
and I felt
successful.
I followed the story. I
Yeah.
understood what was going on. It just wasn't good.
Hmm.
None of it was good.
Right.
And again, I know the opening scene was a cheat. Oh yeah, and he had. It turned out the teen killed that realtor in the beginning. Why I don't know. And it's been he hid her in like his closet in his room. And the dad came in. It's like, what's that smell? And he's like, unlock this fucking door right now. And he unlocks it and pushes his dad in and locks him in with like the body. And that's the last you see of the dad. You
Oh
don't even know
God.
what happens with that story. That's it. And I'm like,
Wow.
wait, what? What?
Cool.
And I'm like, finish this. So yeah, no, this was not even the couple that bought it. Like I said, I mean, it's just the acting. Nothing was good. I cannot think of at least one redeeming quality. At least Under the Bed, like I said, had a cool kill. This had,
Hmm.
I can't, no, 57. And I feel confident. Maybe a bump up when I think about it now. I can't. I don't think this is going any higher. This might stay in the bottom two for the remainder of this year. So, oh my god. But yeah,
Wow.
it was
But it
horrible.
wasn't worse than Slaw.
No, no. I mean, this at least
No,
had
just
this
resounding
had at
no.
least some kind of production. I mean, they're both bad.
Yeah, Slaw.
Slaw could have been. I don't know. I don't know. It's not worse than
Slaw had
Slaw.
Kevin Nash.
Yeah, and that still is bad. Kevin Nash is
Sorry.
a bad wrestler, bad actor. Um,
I know, right? I love his vibe, but
oh
he doesn't. He's as a wrestler. What the hell did he bring to the table?
no, I mean the only thing he ever did, and is the fact when he jump shipped it, he got basically the wrestling world guarantee contracts. So he's a smart business guy. Good for him. A lot of these guys deserve at least that. But I'm in the ring. I could not tell you one good Kevin Nash match, which I'm like, dude, we should watch that again. But yes, anyhow, Get Off My Lawn, I might say is slightly better than Slaw. Um, why? I don't know. It's just, I mean, I
It
can't
just is.
explain it, but they're both just really bad. I maybe Get Off My Lawn just a little bit better, but I don't know.
Mhm.
That's not saying much. I'm just gonna keep them on the bottom of my list. I don't ever want to think about these movies again unless I somehow watch something that goes down there. I will never suggest this. You came up to me with these movies in Blockbuster. I'm like, put them away. Put them. Just I don't care how
Mhm.
drunk you are. Put them back. Watch something else.
3.99 PRP right there.
No, yeah, yeah. 199 p. You know what? You steal this movie. I will turn my back You can just walk out with it. Oh no, inventory man! I don't know what happened to get all my lawn and
Ooh,
slaw. Oh
shrink.
no!
Oh, we're down a couple copies. Oh
I
no.
no. Let's go not look for them in the anyhow.
Nah.
But Soto, I did watch a third movie. I did not plan to watch a third movie this week, and I will tell you right now, this is not a horror movie. This is actually a comedy. So I'm glad to get
Oh,
out. My
nice.
last six films have been horror. Six, five, six, whatever. I lost count. I don't have my list in front of me. So I don't know why I was on Netflix, and this movie kind of just for some reason popped up, and just the title again. I went off title alone. It's a
Hmm.
2013 film called Bad Words, directed by Jason Bateman, also starring Jason Bateman. Um,
Oh, interesting.
oh,
Okay.
this is all right. So let me give you the premise. This is pretty hilarious. So Jason Bateman plays a 40-year-old guy who, through a loophole, can enter the spelling bee that's made for kids because he dropped out in the eighth grade. He left school, and in the rule books, it says anyone who graduates the eighth grade can no longer be part of the spelling bee. That whatever I can't think of the
Oh,
national
okay.
spelling bee, and so because he never finished the eighth grade,
This is a
he
movie.
is allowed, and he is the most filthy. He swears. Hence, bad words is a good double meaning there. It's fucking
Yeah, yeah,
obviously he's an asshole to everyone, the adults, the children, and I'm like, okay, this is the kind of character. And you spend the whole movie wondering why he's doing this. That's kind of like, for lack of better terms, mystery, but that's not really the point of this. He also
yeah.
kind of befriends a child who's also going into the same because National Spelling Bee. Very random pairing. Um, but yes, so this whole movie, parents are mad at him. Tournament directors are trying to give him the hardest words, and he's nailing everything. And yes, he's just like, stop me. He's like, I don't care. He's like, I'm not here to win. I'm here to make a mockery of the whole thing. He's like, but you can't kick me out. And you also, I guess, need a sponsor. And he has this reporter played by Catherine Hahn, um, who's trying to interview him and also trying to find things out about him, why he's doing this. But he's not giving her much. He's just being a dick to her. But yeah, so this is a very, at parts, a vulgar film, at least in the first half. But the friendship, the story is, his friendship with this young kid. Um, because this kid who is going around the spelling bee, his parents have forced him into this world. He's like, my dad's trying to say I should learn to be a man. So he gets like his own hotel room and stuff like that. So he's always by himself. And Jason Bateman kind of, after a while, after this kid kind of breaks that first part of his heart, he takes him out into the city, lets him get, ice cream, but also kind of takes him to show him his first boobs. And so,
Hmm.
basically not traumatizing, showing this kid the life he never knew. But their
Hmm.
friendship is friggin' hilarious. And it's the simplest of premises. There's really not much else to talk about this. Except for the fact, just, how everyone's just trying to sabotage him. And towards the end, you find out why he was doing this. Um, which it was weird. But it's like, okay, that's fine. It gave me a reason. But yes, Jason Bateman. I don't know if Jason Bateman wrote this. He definitely directed it. He definitely starred in it. But you can just tell if you're a Jason Bateman fan, you will pretty much like this. I know this has been up and down with some people. I've read some reviews. They're like calling this creepy and disgusting. I'm like, maybe.
Hmm.
I mean, yes. Because it's an actual kid. Whatever. He's what, eighth grade, so 10, 11. I don't know the age group there. And they actually show boobs in this and doing it in front of kids. But I'm like, it's meant to be that way. So to me, again, I've said this with the first one, Tucker and Dale. I like dark comedies. I like things like this. And I'm laughing. I'm just laughing how much he just does not give a fuck about anyone. Like, and they're all just trying, he's just like, stop me. And he keeps saying that. He's like, it says in this rule, it says in this, and like, I will call, this reporter, this TV station, and blah, blah, blah. And yeah, they can't stop him. He gets to obviously the National Spelling Bee is kind of like the last round. And it's the first time this one, because I guess there's a million of them, who knows, is being aired live on TV. And they're like, oh, you're trying to make an embarrassment on live TV. He's like, no, that was never planned. He's like, that's just an added bonus. Um, but
Wow.
yes, again, you have to like. and I say, you have to like dark comedies. If you don't like vulgarity, this movie is not for you, which is fine. I know that's not, for everyone. For me, it fucking is, and I know for you it is to a point
Hmm.
probably. But yeah,
Absolutely.
I surprisingly like this. Um, there wasn't, again, not much to it. Um, it hit what it needed to, but what worked for this was, weirdly enough, this friendship, because obviously this kid, I think they're on the plane together, and this kid starts asking him all these questions like, oh, you're that adult, that one. He's like, oh, we'll be facing each other the next one, and he's like, what's your favorite spelling word? Like, he's the most wholesome kid you can think of, whose parents just kind of neglect him. And so, yeah,
Hmm.
Jason Bateman just keeps telling him, like, turn around, I don't fucking care, turn you around, blah, blah, blah. So that friendship is what makes this movie kind of work. And Jason Bateman's 40-year-old, I don't give a fuck attitude. I,
Which I'm sure you loved.
I did. But again,
That's right up your alley.
kind of like with the Tucker and Dale, you know,
Yeah.
it kind of fizzles out in the end. I
Yeah.
mean, but
Yeah.
this one had more heart, obviously, because it's meant to. And the end scene, actually, the last scene between him and this kid, the kid was just weirdly wholesome and weirdly vulgar at the same time.
Hmm.
Because,
Yep.
so it's just, again, I think that's what made, everything else worked, but that's what made this movie. I'm looking now at my list, trying to decide where to put it. Because I did enjoy it. It's got to go there. Because that's the same vibe, same kind of vulgarness. And I might
Hmm.
put this, I'm just deciding if I'm going to put this above or below something. I know kind of right where I'm at, but I
Hmm.
think I might put it below at the moment. So, anyhow, this is going to be my new number 20. This is going to go right under the Happy Time
Ooh,
Murders. Because, again,
top 20.
it is, and that can change. I'm not saying it's when I do the relook, because I'm looking what's underneath it, which right now is Terrifier. And Terrifier is a
Yeah.
very weird one on both our lists. Actually, no, Terrifier is not
Hmm.
on your list. Terrifier 2 is on both of our lists, because I know how we both
Yes.
feel. But Bad Word, similar to the
Oh
Happy
God.
Time Murders, very vulgar, uh, very adult, and I think that's why I like it. But I get
Mm.
why a lot of people don't. And again, movies, some things are not for everyone, but for me, this is it. Kind of a one trick pony again, but it worked better in this one than other movies. And again, this could change. Just right now, it's where I'm feeling it. It's with my other vulgar movie, which had the same vibe, like something I've seen once. Nothing we're going to really talk
Hmm.
about in 5 years. Because again, I didn't even know this was a movie. This came out in 2013. Um, and I never even
A
heard
while
of it.
ago.
Yeah, so that should tell
Over
you
10 years ago.
something. So the fact that there's a movie, and again, I think that's right before we left Blockbuster. Well, you already left. That's right before I left Blockbuster. Because that's around. No, I left in
Yeah, it was
2012.
like
So after, yeah, I was saying
2011. Yeah,
2014, 2012 for me. Um, so
2011 is when I left Blockbuster and I went to my new job in that October of 2011. So yeah.
yeah, so again, it's a movie and that should tell you something. It's a movie I never heard of, and it just popped up. And again, kind of
Hmm.
like Get Off My Lawn. I just saw the title. I saw Jason Bateman. I'm like, I like Bad Words. I like Jason Bateman. Let me
You
just
do, yeah,
let me
and
see what this is about.
you just hit play.
Yeah, but I went old man Chad, and this was at least better than Get Off My Lawn. I laughed at parts, and I also like Catherine Hahn. I loved her in Agatha all along. She's
Oh
hilarious.
yeah, she's funny.
But she's more of a sidekick in this. She's not in it as much as I would have liked, but she has some good
Yeah.
parts in it. Um, I will say now that it dawned on me, that one of the best parts overall is because he's sitting up there with like all these kids, which in itself, just the scene, it's hilarious because you see all these kids in seats and like this tall 40-year-old guy, and the way he's trying to psych out the other kids, like just whisper to them the things he says, fucking hilarious. And you think you're like, you can't get away with the shit today's movies, and I'm like, maybe you can, because again, I don't know, people just go off the rocker, but yeah, he's just the stuff he's telling his kids to get them to just to break or to leave or lose focus, fucking hilarious. So again, you gotta like vulgar. You gotta like. If, we say this, Soto. If you say that. the woke audience. But no, this, yeah, no. So I think you would like this. I don't know if you need to rush to see it. If you need a good laugh, like I said, I have the three movies: Tucker and Evil, Tucker and Dale versus Evil, excuse me, and Bad Words. Like I said, I
Yeah.
think you would enjoy whether or not you see them this year. Like you don't need a rush; you're not missing much. But if you're just looking for something, quick laugh, don't need to think,
Yeah.
watch those two. Get off my lawn. Don't even think about after we do this podcast. Just
I
don't
don't.
do
I
this.
will think it'll be on my mind. I
It
mean,
will
God,
towards the end
anything
of the
that's at the
year.
bottom of these lists will be, we'll have to be like, okay, like, what are we doing here? But it sounds, from how you described, it sounds fucking terrible.
It is.
I
Now
wouldn't want any part of that.
I want you
Well,
the
at
next
least
time
sounded
you go
funny because
on.
it also had Kevin Nash too. So,
Yeah, but next time you go on Tubi, I'm not saying turn it on. Start looking at those Tubi
mhm.
originals. Just now that you know that,
Oh
because
God,
it says it right underneath. I'm not saying watch it, but now you're gonna notice
yeah.
it of maybe a little bit more, and maybe another one will pop up in your head like, "Fuck it, Chad did it. Maybe I will for this one." I can't throw
Oh,
it.
I don't know.
I gotta put it
I
to
want to
bed.
watch I want to watch a good movie this week. I don't want to fucking do
I'm
that.
not saying
We'll
this week.
see.
I'm just saying in time. But at least on Tubi, like I said, don't watch. Just notice the Tubi originals because I know there's a couple others, and I thought this might have been the first because I've never seen anything labeled the Tubi original, and that's why I'm like, oh shit, oh shit. But
Oh, I've definitely seen the section. I've seen what the section offers, and I'm like, I'm not going into that part of Tubi. Hell no.
this was on the main page. Well, again, the only reason I saw it because it's what was new to Tubi, and again, it was like July
Hmm.
11th, whatever the date was, and I'll admit, and I talked about this in whatever 2-3 weeks ago, like it was the title alone. I'm like, it's a horror movie called Get Off My Lawn. I'm like, that if that doesn't scream old men shaking their fist at clouds, I don't know what is. So,
Which is
but
what
it's
we
not.
do.
It's not old
What we
men.
do all the
Has
time.
nothing to do with old guys shaking their fists. And I was wondering, this young couple bought a nice house. I know what it is. I'm like, what the fuck are they? How much are they making? I always wonder about that in movies.
You're like,
Like
that's unrealistic.
in this day and age, like if this was an '80s movie, I'm like, oh
Uh,
fuck, whatever, that makes sense. It's smart.
sure.
I'm like, but no, I mean, they got a pool, Soto. They had a pool. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, but
that's not happening for us.
oh, but Soto, that's our 4 movies this week for episode 23. I don't know what I'm
Thanks.
gonna watch this week. Me and my wife might actually watch a movie. I don't know if we'll get to it, but teaser alert for what it might be next Friday. Does Happy Gilmore 2 come out
Mhm.
next Friday, 27th? What is today? What is today's date?
Oh,
I
today is the 17th.
So I think it comes out the 25th. Next Friday. Happy
Oh,
Gilmore 2.
oh, geez. Well, then I will have to watch that next. Oh, God
Yeah,
Almighty, that's gonna disappoint me. It's gonna disappoint me. I can already tell.
it might. But I will let you know. Yeah, Jill and I are gonna definitely watch that next week. So, I mean,
Yeah.
we don't do too many movies that we see together. And this one, we might hate or love the net. I don't know. I
Will
want
it
to
be
love it.
better than Minecraft? That's the thing.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say yes. Yes. I mean, we might still be pissed about it, but I think it'll be better than
Yeah.
Minecraft because again, it's
All right.
I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Minecraft was a disappointment. It's still not the worst thing I've seen. But
I mean,
yeah,
I wasn't expecting anything out of Minecraft, so
no.
I
But
wasn't
when
mad
it was
about
like
it.
one of the top
Minecraft
movie,
is whatever.
yeah. I
Well,
mean,
that's this generation's vibe. I didn't play Minecraft. You didn't play Minecraft, and maybe I just didn't get it. So who knows? We'll see.
we'll see. But anyhow, that'll do it for us. Again, let us know what you thought of any of these movies we watched today. Not a good list, not a strong showing for us. I mean, I guess I
No,
had one
not at
break the
all.
top 20, but I can tell you, I know I'll see better. It's not going to stay in the top 20 for long. Um, but for the most part, yeah, we saw some shit this week, Soto. Saw some shit.
Yeah, not one of my most fun weeks for sure. Even though it was just only one movie, but I'm gonna be looking for something good to watch over the next few days. I want to know what good looks like again.
Great. But anyhow,
Mhm.
as usual, what we always say, just go out there and watch some movies, people.
Just hit play.